Ladies and gentlemen, introducing our final 2014 California Wrestling Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. Dennis Bardsley. His presenter is his son, who's a California State medalist and wrestling official, Mr. Matt Bardsley, along with his brothers, Mike and Steve. Dennis started wrestling as a sophomore in Virginia. He moved to Petaluma his junior year and was a league and section champion, two-time placer, and placed fourth in the NorCal Championships in 1971. He was Petaluma's first section champ and only NorCal placer. At Santa Rosa Junior College, he was a conference, Northern Cal, and California State champion. He was also the California State Outstanding Wrestler and All-American in 1973. He was 59-1 with 40 pins. He was San Ramon Junior College's first NorCal and state champion. He was voted San Ramon Junior College Outstanding Athlete of the Year, voted Outstanding Wrestler in the Northern California JCs by the Bay Area Collegiate Wrestling Officials Association, and was inducted to the Santa Rosa Junior College Athletic Hall of Fame. He attended Cal Poly San Luis Obispo on a full ride, was second in the Far Western Regionals, and honorable mention, All-American in NCAA Division I, and the team placed sixth. Dennis won many large local and regional tournaments in freestyle and Greco-Roman. Most notable were the AAU Junior World Regional Champ, two-time freestyle and one-time Greco-Roman. AAU Junior World Freestyle and Greco-Roman National Champion, winning 4 California USA against the Japanese national team. Far Western Freestyle Champion, defeating Marlon Grandi and Joe Say in the finals. Third AAU Sambo Nationals, second place in Freestyle and Greco Champion in the Mexico City International Tournament. It was an alternate for the 1978 Greco-Roman World Team. He coached over 35 years, head coached 19 years. His teams won 216 duels and it had 11 league city championship teams, and individuals won 45 league, 8 divisional, and valley with many state placers. One CIF state champion that was selected to the USA Dream Team. He had many wrestlers go on to become college All-Americans. He was league rep for 7 years and coached for the Coach of the Year for 9 times. He was a tournament director for 5 league and 1 Yosemite divisional championships. Dennis has been involved with California USA Wrestling in many capacities. He was on the California USA coaching staff to the Nationals for many years. He coached the team to the first cadet national tournament. He was also the head coach and director of the California Junior National Team for 2 years, with the Greco team winning the national championship. He secured Selland Arena for the kids' state and Western regionals and brought the state tournament out of the high school gym. He ran the kids' state, the Western regionals, and the kids' nationals at Selland. He also ran the kids and cadets and junior open state at Fresno City. Dennis hosted many exchange teams from Japan, New Zealand, Turkey, and Russia, and coached for the California team to Japan. He was an association director for 12 years and helped start the CVWA. Dennis was on the first CIF State Wrestling Advisory Committee and served for 2 years. He has worked many wrestling and development camps throughout the years. USA Developmental, Hitchcock, etc. It was a camp director for Hitchcock Acevedo for 2 years. He was an original member on the Hall of Fame committee, served 2 terms as president, introduced the Lifetime Service Award, organized banquets, started the web page, started filming banquets, and many other duties such as profiles and banquet program. Dennis has been and is currently running brackets for major tournaments at all levels, high school, junior college, and state and national on the computer. He is also proud that both of his sons were section champs, masters finalists, 1 champ, and a state CIF semifinalists and placers. Ladies and gentlemen, inducted into the 2014 California Wrestling Hall of Fame, Mr. Dennis Bardsley.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank the board for this honor. I'd like to thank my mom and dad. My dad's not here, but my mom is, for all that they did to me, for me, through the years. Probably a wild little dingy, that's all right. My wife for being supportive all these years, all the nights, weekends, and summers that I was gone, and also, the time away from my boys. Lucky they wrestled, and so we were able to travel together and make up for some of that time. I want to thank all that wrestled for me, all the guys that wrestled and my assistant coaches. They're part of the reason why I'm up here, for their help and loyalty through the years. My brother, and I'll talk about this later, for bringing a flyer home my senior year in high school. Many coaches and wrestlers have helped me and inspired me through the years. And many of them are in this room, many have been inducted through the years. But I was going to originally thank each one, but I started figuring it out, and we don't have enough time. So I'm going to go abbreviate. I'm just going to give you a little bit of time, and I'm going to mention a few of those through the years. I started wrestling in the 10th grade, and I had 5 coaches in 5 years, and most of them were football. And I even had the trainer my sophomore year when I won the state. It was a trainer took the position that year. So, but I was lucky. I had a lot of people helping. My parents sent me to Hitchcock wrestling camp when I was in high school, where I learned a lot of skill there. A lot of the local coaches, because I was kind of an orphan, and they would take me in. They'd come here, Dennis, you have to learn this, and they'd show me things, through high school and even through junior college. The the flyer my brother brought home was for a ball tournament, and it was a qualifier for the national team. And we showed up. Dad gave us the keys to the car, and we went and didn't know what we were doing. We didn't have a coach, and we just figured out that you don't go to your back, and you got to get the takedown. And luckily, I won the tournament, and so I was able to travel with the team, and a couple of those guys are here in this room that were coaching then, and that developed a friendship. And those guys helped me through the years. They even though I was coaching against their wrestlers, they would help me when I was in junior college, and they also, I would travel. The Bawa tournaments were 40 to 50 miles away, and we would travel and go to those tournaments, and those coaches also let me practice in the room. We'd drive down there and go to practice, so, it kind of worked out. But what I learned from these coaches was that they helped you out, and even though I wrestled against their guys, they were selfish, not selfish, and so they helped develop me and go through. I am going to give one example, and there's so many I could give, but Jim Root, my sophomore year in college, I wanted to go to the Cal Poly tournament because I went to Hitchcock's camp, and I wanted to show him that I was a pretty good wrestler. But my coach and my team didn't want to go. We never traveled that far, and there was a trainer that year. So somehow, I don't know if the trainer said something to Jim or one of his wrestlers, because Mitch Vieira was one of his wrestlers, was in my weight class, said something, and Jim came up and said, we'll take him. And so I drove down to San Jose. I traveled with his team. He coached me and in the tournament and went through. But many of those coaches in Bawa, they did that. They showed, they constantly helped me out. And again, I'd like to name all of them, but we don't have that much time. My first wrestling coach, well, actually it was my 6th wrestling coach, my 6th year wrestling, and I had him for 3 years, and that's Von Hitchcock at Cal Poly. And a lot of the things that I learned from him, I used in my wrestling career, coaching career throughout, the techniques that he had and some of the things that we did. Many of my wrestlers went on to wrestle at the next level. A lot of them are coaching. I'm especially proud that, I've got guys that are coaching. Some of them are officiating, and even my son. I call that going to the dark side, but they're still wrestling. They're still paying it back and helping out. I love it when my former wrestlers come up. I don't like the term old coach. I don't know about that, but I wish they would say former coach. But anyway, they'll introduce me to their kids that's wrestling and say, this is my old coach, and it makes me feel good, makes me feel heartwarmed. I had one kid come up this year, making me nervous. I got time. And anyway, he introduced me to his daughter who was wrestling, and he goes, this is my old coach, and he goes, it's his fault I'm doing this. And as I walked away, I said, wow, thank you. I thought that was a great compliment. I passed on what those coaches passed on to me. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dennis Bardsley.